Give me 20 minutes and I'll show you how to dominate LinkedIn in 2026. And I'm going to do it differently than every other LinkedIn video you've probably seen. No list of steps. Instead, I'm going to show you the exact journey your next client would take, from never hearing your name to actually sending you a DM. Every touch point in order, because once you see LinkedIn from their side, the whole platform stops being confusing. But before we actually go and follow that stranger, you need to understand why they wouldn't care about you yet. Because one thought I really want to insert inside your brain is, no one cares about you. It's a bit harsh, I know. But what I mean with this is, you can't expect to post something valuable and get attention. Because posting valuable stuff does not equal getting the attention. And it comes down to which of these 3 types of people you are. 1, the subject matter expert, the person with the deepest knowledge in the room, 20 years of experience, real results, real clients, but almost nobody knows they exist. 2, the creator, knows how to get attention, posts every day, hooks, formats, the whole game. Sometimes the knowledge underneath is an inch deep. 3, the thought leader, a subject matter expert who learned distribution. Same depth as the first one, same reach as the second. That's the position this video gets you to. If you are watching this video, you're probably in that first group, and the first group has a specific problem. I call it the authority paradox, because sometimes the more you know, the more you assume people will care, and they just don't, because expertise and attention are 2 completely different currencies. You can be rich in one and broke in the other. And on LinkedIn and any other social media platform, attention is the one you need to learn how to create, and expertise is what you build that attention from. We had a client who sold his company for over $70 million. He stopped working with us for a few months, posted on his own, and got single-digit likes on topics he literally built a company on. Everything in this video comes from the systems we built at Distinctiva for clients paying $5K to $20K a month. One of them went from $800K to $3.6 million ARR with over 80% of their pipeline coming from LinkedIn, 0 outbound, and I even built my own agency to 6 figures the same way. I want you to think of it like opening the best restaurant in the city, but you open it on a street with 0 foot traffic. You don't have an online presence. You're not even on Google Maps. The food can be Michelin type, and it doesn't matter until someone is going to actually walk down that street, until someone does a Google Maps search, until someone sees a foodie reel recommending your restaurant. So that's the game. This video is about building that. So let's get into it. The first time your next client sees your name, it probably won't be on one of your own posts, especially if you are just starting out. It will probably be in the comments of someone they already follow, because when you are starting out, your posts reach almost nobody. You're talking to an empty room. But there are people out there that their comment section is full of your ICP. Their rooms are full. A comment puts you inside that full room today for free. Is it easy? No, because when you are the new kid at school, it's never easy. Not knowing anyone, not having friends, not understanding the social dynamics or how the teachers are like, where the bathroom is never easy. Now you might think this sounds a little bit like engagement farming, leaving comments to get noticed, warm up the algorithm as some call it, but there's a real psychology underneath this, and it's the opposite of farming. It's called the reciprocity effect, one of the heavily documented patterns in human behavior. When someone gives you something, our brain keeps a tab open. We feel a quiet pull to give back. Someone holds the door, you hold the next. Someone leaves a genuinely useful comment on someone's post. That person notices, replies, checks their profile, their audience does too. So here's exactly what I do. Start by building a list of 20 to 30 creators whose audience matches your ICP, the people who could become your clients. Then build another list of those 20 to 30 real ICPs you start finding active in their posts. Then 30 minutes a day before you even post your own post, you comment on their stuff. And a good comment does one of 3 things. It adds value, an experience or angle that makes the original post better. It challenges respectfully, disagreeing with nuance, or it tells a quick story that relates to the topic. What it never does is repeat the post back, and AI loves doing this. So true, consistency really is key, adds nothing. Generic AI comments add less than nothing. And LinkedIn announced this year they're actively suppressing comment automation. Real comments from a real perspective, that's the whole play. So please do not assume comments are a small thing, that nothing meaningful comes from a comment. I'll give you an example. One member of my community left a single comment on a post by an ex-England football legend, Peter Shilton. That guy asked him to DM him because of his services with one comment. And every comment you leave carries your headline with it, which means the comment is only half the equation, because the moment that comment works, something happens that decides whether all of this effort was worth anything at all. Okay, your comment worked. That stranger clicks your name. And now they are doing one fast gut check. Do I understand what this person does? And is it for me? Or do I like this person? Would I want to hit that connect button or send a DM? If the answer isn't obvious in 10 seconds, they're gone, maybe even forever. So, your content is the ad. Your profile is the landing page. You can run the best ad campaign in the world, but if the landing page is confusing, nobody's gonna buy. And we see profiles every week that read like clicking a promising ad and then landing on a page that says, "Hi, I work somewhere." Or they just use very big, hard, complicated words to sound fancy and to sound actually credible, but what that actually does, it makes someone not actually understand what it is that you do and just jump off your profile. So let's follow the journey someone would have when looking at it. They're gonna look at your profile picture, have it zoomed into your face, smile, look approachable. You can add a background color for brand awareness. Then they'll read your banner right next to your picture. They'll scan your headline again. If that convinced them, then they'll go down to your about section. I think of the first phrases as hooks, so use those first lines to get people to want to read the rest. And then your featured sections. They should always send people to your world. Don't lose this space by putting your best performing post just because it looks nice to show big metrics. Link to a lead magnet, your website, your newsletter, a booking link. Same with the custom button. The profile isn't just cosmetic, even though of course you also have to think of the look, the colors, the feel of it. It's also extremely important for the actual performance of your post. Thanks to the new algorithm, every word you put on it, you have to be extremely intentional. Use the right keywords for both humans and the algorithm. I want to show you what this one step is actually worth because the number surprised even us. An SEO consultant with 20,000 followers followed an advice I posted on LinkedIn. He changed two things, his headline and his about section. Nothing else. Same posting style, same frequency, same topics. Reach went up 226%. Engagement went up 327% and brought in a lead the same day. What does this mean? Same ads, new landing page. That's the entire difference. Okay, so let's do a quick pass through each element. Your headline. Use the problem you solve and who you solve it for in the exact language your buyers would understand and search. Every word is deliberate because your headline travels with every single post and every comment you make. It's working for you in rooms you're not in. Your about section. One structure I really like. Problem, solution, proof, CTA. Show them you understand their pain. Position yourself as the fix. Back it with numbers. Tell them what to do next. Nobody opens LinkedIn to read your autobiography. Your featured section and your custom button. Move people one step into a world you own. A newsletter, a booking link, a lead magnet. LinkedIn owns your followers. You don't, so try to push them to your world. Fix this before you post anything. Every post you publish with a broken profile is an ad pointing at a dead page. But a fixed profile only matters if your content actually reaches the stranger again. And this year, what decides that changed more than it has in a decade. Almost nobody posting right now understands what I'm about to show you. A few days later, that same stranger we're following is scrolling, and your post appears in their feed. That placement is the algorithm doing exactly what it was rebuilt to do. And this part changed completely this year, so pay attention. On March 12, LinkedIn went public about how their feed works. Tim Jerka, their VP of engineering, who spent 13 years building it, explained it openly. They replaced a bunch of separate ranking systems with one unified model powered by a large language model. It understands what your content is actually about, who would genuinely want it, and it walks it over to them, even if they don't follow you. Two details from LinkedIn's own data that matter for you. First, the system stopped looking at raw engagement numbers. It converts everything into percentiles. So it sees this post is in the 71st percentile of views. And that one change made its matching 30 times more accurate. Real engagement quality is what moves you up a percentile. Pods don't. Second, And this is the detail that should change your behavior today. Their A/B tests showed the new system produced a lift for members with fewer connections. The rebuild structurally favors smaller accounts. If you've been waiting to get bigger before taking LinkedIn seriously, the platform just removed your excuse. I call this total addressable content. The same way your business has a total addressable market, your content has a total addressable audience. What is that audience already watching, reading, reacting to right now? That's your entry point. It's the difference between fishing in a stocked lake and fishing in an ocean. Your expertise is the bait. The lake is where attention already lives. 5 formats put your expertise into conversations that are already happening. And I have receipts for every single one. 1. Brandjacking. Take a brand that already has credibility your name doesn't have yet and use their moves as the frame for your insight. One did this with Anthropic breaking down their too dangerous to release model announcement. Anthropic's brand carried the reach. His analysis carried the value. 230 comments. Second, newsjacking. When something breaks in your industry, be the first credible voice to explain what it actually means for your readers. Instead of summarizing what happened, for example, a new AI model drops, an SEO update rolls out, a regulation changes. And this works in every niche, not just marketing. A battery safety consultant covered CATL opening a new validation facility and turned a piece of industry news into a take on certification as competitive strategy. Her buyers all saw it within days of the news. Hundreds of comments, hundreds of likes. 3. Memejacking. Reference a person your audience already follows and add something real to the conversation. A client of ours posted about Stephen Bartlett, and Bartlett himself commented. 147,000 impressions. And this works at every scale, not just celebrities. Someone posted about me, and I'm not Stephen Bartlett, but I've been posting for 3 years on LinkedIn, so I'm somewhat of a familiar face now. And she got 9 times their normal engagement. The person doesn't need millions of followers. They need to be someone your specific audience already knows. 4. Hot takes. A genuinely held belief that challenges what your industry accepts as true. You have to state it plainly enough that people have to pick a side. One Google Ads specialist in our community posted an open complaint about budgets overspending, something every advertiser feels but nobody says to Google directly. It went absolutely viral. Another creator posted that his favorite AI tool was getting worse and he was switching. 790 comments. The comment section did the distribution for him because there's half agreeing, half defending the tool. Everyone wants to give their point of view, and hot takes do that. And last but not least, number 5, trend writing. The first 4 start from a specific brand, story, person, or belief. This one starts from a format. When a post structure starts spreading across the platform, it's your opportunity to grab it and pour your expertise into that shape while it's still climbing. Right now, it's the thing is dead one-pager. SaaS is dead, email is dead, SEO is dead. They all blew up. Different niches, different authors, but the same format. One of them pulled 616 comments and 97 reposts. The trend brings the reach. That's why I decided to call it the trend rider, because you got to ride the trend. Your substance is what's going to actually make it land, because you can't just copy exactly what someone else is doing. But the window is short, because once everyone starts using it, it doesn't work anymore. All 5 do the same thing. You are walking into a conversation that's already happening instead of standing in an empty room hoping someone walks by. That's how you solve the authority paradox without waiting years. And everything I've shown you so far, the profile, the comment system, these formats, it's a lot to execute from memory. I know. So I turned this entire journey into a free 5-day email course. 1 email a day, Monday to Friday. 1 move a day, so that by the weekend, your profile, your comment system, and your first post are live. Links in the description. Okay, but we're not going anywhere yet, because none of those impressions happen if the stranger scrolls past your post in the feed. And whether they actually stop comes down to the next thing I'm about to mention. Okay, so we are still following this stranger. Your post now is in their feed. Now you have about a few seconds. In 2026, your opening lines have 2 audiences at once. The human deciding whether to tap see more, and the algorithm itself. Because LinkedIn's retrieval system reads roughly your first 50 words when deciding whether your post even enters the candidate pool. It's the algorithm audition. Spend those 50 words on slow setup, and you fail the audition before a single human voted. I've studied hooks for years now, and every single one is reduced to 4 repeating formats: the dense hook, the punchy plus context, the single line bomb, and the stacked hook. That's it. And I made a free Claude skill that writes all 5 for any draft. Watch that video. Links is also in the description. Okay, the formats are important. And if you go and see that video, you'll learn exactly how they look like. But there's something bigger that lots of people are not doing, and it's the order you write in. One thing that's really going to help you write better LinkedIn posts is to stop trying to write the hook first. That's like trying to cut a movie trailer before you've shot the film. Write the whole post, the story, the numbers, the framework. Then read it back and find the sharpest line inside of it, the one already doing the heavy lifting. Drag that to the top. Most of the times your hook is hiding inside the post. And if you read back through and nothing in there is worth pulling, the problem was never your hook, it was the actual post. So stop and write a better post. Okay, so that stranger we've been following stopped because of your hook. They read the post. Good. Except one post converts nobody. What happens over the next weeks is where the entire system either compounds or collapses. Okay, so here's what the stranger experiences over the next few weeks. A growth post caught their attention. An authority post, that can be a framework, a client result, made them think this person actually knows what they're talking about. A personal post made them remember you as a human instead of someone trying to sell something. And a conversion post showed them the door when they were ready to walk through it. After thinking about this for a long time, I've built the perfect LinkedIn content funnel. It's in 4 buckets: 40% growth, 30% authority, 20% conversion, 10% personal. Each one has its own job. One brings in new leads, one builds trust, one closes, one keeps the relationships warm and human. When every one of them is doing the same job, your pipeline breaks. We see experts post 100% authority content to an audience that doesn't know them yet. That's like handing out business cards in an empty room. And there's creators who post 100% growth content that build an audience that never buys from them. And there's one thread I want you to keep in mind that runs through all 4 buckets: your actual point of view. What do you believe that contradicts what your industry keeps repeating? Where is your space wrong? When I got fired at 22 after building my old agency's founder brand into a lead machine, it forced me to figure out what I actually believed about content. That belief is why someone follows me instead of the next person posting about the same topics. You need yours. It's the one thing AI can't generate and competitors can't copy. And when all of these things run at once, the comments, the profile, the formats, the buckets, something happens on the outside that other people will see like magic, or that you gamed the system, but you will know exactly where it came from because you've understood the full content system. Then one day, that stranger sends you a DM. Been following your stuff for a while, wanna chat. That message feels like it came out of nowhere, but you now know it came from a comment, a well-optimized profile click, a reserved post, a save, and weeks of every post doing its job. Dominating LinkedIn means one right person taking that exact path, then another. Pipeline you can predict, content you can control. When that DM arrives, what you do in the next 24 hours decides whether it becomes revenue or a dead thread. So make sure to reply the same day, ideally within hours. That DM took weeks of trust to generate, and trust has a temperature. Every day you wait, it cools down. And there's a part you can also do. You don't have to wait for the DM. By this point in the journey we have been following, you have people leaving signals everywhere. The same names commenting week after week, people saving your posts, profile views from your exact ICP. Those people are one nudge away from the conversation, and reaching out to them is warm because the relationship already exists. Something as simple as, I keep seeing you in the comments, what are you working on, opens more doors than any sequence ever written. That's the difference between outbound and follow-up. Cold outreach interrupts a stranger. This continues a conversation your content already started. 3 ways to go deeper. The free 5-day course I mentioned turns everything in this video into one move a day. If you only do one thing, do that. First link below. If you want to build this with feedback, live Q&As, and my full AI setup, that's the LinkedIn engine, my community. That's also below. And if you'd rather skip the building and have my team run all of it for you, that's Distinctiva. We do done-for-you LinkedIn newsletter and YouTube content for founders and executives. Links in the description as well. And subscribe if this was useful. I'm breaking down what's actually working for B2B brands every week. See you in the next one.